I think I'm live. Can y'all see me? Let me go see if y'all can see me. Hello, hello. Let me go find that holly jolly ornament hop over here. Hey, my friends. It is Jen. I am live. Yay. Hi, everyone. Let me go ahead and copy this into our ornament hop page. Hang on. I'm going to add the post and I am going to paste it. And I am live in the Holly Jolly Ornament Hop. And I am live here on my page. Say hello when you get here. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Ginger LaCour. I am the owner and creator of Jen's Den Art. Let me make myself a little bigger so you can see me. I'm the owner and creator of Jen's Den Art. I have been painting for about 6 years, and I am an acrylic artist. And I would love for you to say hello, Robbie and Sharon and Sandy and Stacy and Doris and Jackie and Tracy and Jane and Phyllis and Janie and Cindy and Luann and everybody else and Felicia. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Thank you for coming on and being patient with us through our Facebook dilemmas. So, sometimes things happen in Facebook that are beyond our control. And tonight is one of those situations where, unfortunately, at the beginning, we had some technical difficulties and the lives were not able to be shared into the event the way that we wanted them to be and the way that we had it set up. So I'm hoping that you can all appreciate the fact that we are here now and you can watch the replays as many times as you want. And make sure, hopefully you see the post on the top. Make sure that you sign up for the all of the materials. All of the materials are going to be sent to you in an email along with the template that I'm getting ready to use. And there's also links to possible, if you want to buy some types of kits or anything like that, you can get all of those links if you sign up. You will also be entered into a drawing for a giveaway. We're going to do 4 giveaways. Each one of us is going to give away something. I just want to let you know, what am I going to be giving away? I'm going to be giving away 5 of these tags that I sell in my shop. Okay, and they are going to be blank. And that's what we're going to be painting on tonight. So let me go ahead and bring the screen in for you. And this is what we're going to be painting. Okay, this is a wooden ornament that is 7 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. Actually, it doesn't just have to be an ornament. You can actually take this jute out of it. There's a screw hole at the top. And yeah, my jute's in bad shape here. Can you tell? There's a screw hole at the top. You can use this as a shelf sitter. You can put it in a tier tray. See, it stands on its own. So it does not have to be an ornament. However, this is an ornament hop. So you know what? It's going to be an ornament tonight. All right. So here we go. What we're going to do here is we're basically going to be painting. That's all we're going to be doing is using acrylic paints to paint this. In the description, you should see a link to sign up for the email. And in the email, you will get the template that I use. Y'all, don't laugh at my paper. I was going to throw it away, and then I was like, oh, no, I better not throw it away. I better show them what it's going to look like. So this is what your template is going to look like if you go ahead and download the template. It's not going to be, you're going to print your own out. It's not going to be like, crumply paper like mine is, because, sometimes I just do crazy things like that. All right. So tell us where you're from. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Cindy. I really appreciate it. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Christine. Yes, hang in the middle. Yes, it could be a wreath addition. Oh my gosh, y'all are awesome. Y'all come up with great ideas. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm using, the first color I'm using is one of my most favorite colors in the world. And if you paint with me, I have an acrylic membership group where we paint weekly. If you paint with me, you know that this is one of my most favorite colors that I use in my paintings, and it is called Payne's Gray. It's a beautiful navy blue color. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm adding that Payne's Gray to the sides, the front, the back. I'm just going to wash the whole thing with this Payne's Gray. And look, I'm going to give y'all a little trick here. My favorite painting surface is wood. Okay, I love to paint on wood. So what I'm doing over here to my right is I'm dipping my paintbrush in the water, and it's making more of a wash of the paint than it is a real thick acrylic paint. It's almost like you can see the wood grain. See that? I'm gonna paint both sides, because you know what you can do? You can like take the back of this and you could put somebody's name on it, or if you look at mine, I just put the date on the back of it right there. So you can do so many different things with this. So these little tags are actually, I'm going to put it right here so you can see it. These little tags are actually made by the Jen's Den Art team, aka my husband Michael. So I am selling these tags. You will find the link. If you cannot find the link, please let me know, and I will add it somewhere so you can find it. I'm selling these little tags that you can buy to make whatever you want. So look, these are like really sturdy pine tags. They're not like the MDF type tags. This is actually made out of pure wood. Okay, so here we go with our crazy dirty hands, huh? Look at my fingernails. Y'all, I've been trying for a week and a half to get this paint out of the back of my fingernails, and I can't get it out. So, you know what that tells me? I need to just get rid of my fingernails and not have fingernails, right? Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Dorothy. We are from Texas and South Carolina and New York and Tennessee. You could also put a Bible verse or song about the nativity. Absolutely, Sharon. What a great idea. What a great idea. Tennessee, and y'all, we have a lot of people from Tennessee and Texas usually. I see we usually have a lot of people. Okay, so see how we have kind of like a blue wash going on here. We're going to start there. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to grab some dark brown. Okay, the dark brown that I use is a burnt umber. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit of burnt umber on my palette, and then I'm also going to grab unbleached titanium. This is like a cream color. So unbleached titanium doesn't sound like something that you would know. You know, if you're not a painter, you don't know what color that is. It's basically like an off-white or a cream color. So any brand will do. You don't have to have the brands that I'm using with acrylic paint, but you will notice the more professional your paints are, the more you're going to fall in love with the value of the paint that you use. So, but if you are just, you just want to use craft paints, that is totally, totally fine. You do not have to use all of these tube paints that I'm showing you right here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my burnt umber, and I'm going to start making my nativity. Y'all, I'm last, so I can go over and nobody else is waiting. So I'm going to kind of take my time. What do y'all think about that? Is that okay with y'all? All right. Okay, so right here, You can definitely use the template, y'all, but I'm not using a template tonight. I'm just going through the painting process because I like to paint just free and just have fun. So I am going to make the brown right here. And then I'm going to come down on each side. And this is going to be my sides of my nativity house, okay? Like the little barn area there. All right, so y'all see what I'm doing? I'm gonna bring it in just a little bit more. There we go. I want you to see my paints as well. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some of this titanium, unbleached titanium. I'm sorry, not titanium. It's called unbleached titanium. And I'm gonna add a little bit of it to give me a little bit of dimension here. Okay, so don't be scared. I'm going to tell you what happened to me this past week. I painted a painting with my tribe members, and it was not one of my best paintings at all. It did not come out the way I wanted it to come out. So I went live again for the second day, and I redid a lot of the painting because I did not like it. I did not like the way it came out. You know, some days you just struggle through your paintings, but most days, if you're an artist, you know that sometimes you surprise yourself at what you can do. And you notice how my voice gets really low when I paint? It's because it's so soothing to me to just take this paintbrush and do this process here and create a beautiful piece of art. Okay, so I'm going to add a third color. And that third color is called, it's basically gold, but the professional artist people like to call it yellow ochre. Okay, so we're going to call it gold/yellow ochre. And I'm going to add just a little bit. I'm just putting very, very little on my paintbrush. And I'm coming through here and just adding just a little bit more variety. And how many of you are painters? You like to use acrylic paint and you like to actually create some paintings? I'd love to know, because if you are, then you already know a lot of what I'm saying. Layers are very, very important when you are painting. And so there we go with some of our layers here. Okay, we started with our little house, you know, our little barn that's going to, hello from California and Arizona. Hi, Kim, first time here. Donna says, I try to paint. Well, good. I love painting with acrylics. I just ordered the tags. Yay, Elizabeth. You're a decorative painter. That is so awesome, Gail. Just learning to paint. Beautiful. Yay. I'm loving it. Yay. Who just joined the tribe? It just says Facebook user. All right, so I am going to continue. And this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start making Mary and Joseph. And I'm going to use a really small, kind of like a medium size paintbrush. Okay. And remember what I said, I did not trace over the template. So I'm just going to start kind of making, I'm going to start with Mary. And Mary is kind of like a turquoisey, beautiful blue color. So I'm going to grab some of this turquoise paint that I have here. And that's a little bit too much green because I grabbed this. I grabbed phthalo green. I want her to be a little bit more on the blue side. So I'm going to grab my blue. And the blue that I'm going to grab is a light blue. I just remember when I was a child, I grew up in a Catholic church and I went to a Catholic school. And when we, every year for Christmas, we had a nativity event where we dressed up as angels. I was an angel, and then we had one of us was Mary that would walk down the aisle in the church. And our Mary had a light blue veil when I was growing up. So this Mary is going to have a light blue veil. Okay, so I'm just going to use this really pretty kind of like an aqua. It's like a turquoise color. And it's funny how you remember things from your childhood, huh? And it sticks with you. So to me, Mary should always have a light blue veil. It's like a baby blue. So Mary is going to have a baby blue veil. And then her clothes, I'm going to make just a little more on the green side, just to put a little bit of color in there. And I'm just going to pull that all the way down. Okay. So that's a good start. And look, there's really not a lot of, there's no detail in this. It's just basic. I'm just kind of making like some lines, you know, just making the lines in the right places. I'm going to make her veil just a little bit more blue. Just a little bit more. Okay, and then let's see, we're going to make our Joseph here. Let's grab some green. I know why. Because we went on a business trip and this paint was in the airplane with me, and I never opened it since I've been back. And so the air pressure built up, and I just opened it and it just like squirted all over me. I agree. Mary always had light blue. There we go. Okay, good. So somebody else understands where I'm coming from. All right, so now I'm going to make a green. I have way too much green, y'all, on my palette because y'all saw what just happened. But I'm going to make a really pretty green with a little bit of brown. I'm kind of making it like a dirty green, I guess you could call it. And I'm going to add just a little bit of white to it, and it's going to make the color pop. Then I'm going to come over here and I am going to outline Joseph. And he's going to be taller. Okay, so we want his robe to come a little bit higher. And let's make the bottom come out just a little bit more. All right, so there we go. Let's do a little bit more white. I want it to come out just a little bit more. It's a little bit too dark. It was hiding behind, or it was blending in too much with the blue. So I wanted it to come out just a little bit more. I added just a little bit of white to the paint. And now I'm going to go back and add his top over his head. I don't want to call it a veil because it's a male. So y'all correct me if I'm saying the wrong stuff. So I'm going to make like a dirty white, like an off-white. And then we're going to come back and add the face as well. So he's going to go way up here. And then I'm going to have the sides of his robe coming down. On each side of him. Still, guys, I'm just like making like some straight lines. It's basically all I'm doing. But it takes a little bit of concentration to get it all done right. if your paint is not thick enough to cover up, this is what you might find with craft paint. If your paint is not thick enough and it's too transparent, then you might have to let your paint dry and add layers, okay? Just add layers, and then I promise you it'll all work out. So don't get discouraged if that happens to you. Okay, so now we're going to go with our face, and I'm just kind of making like a dark, I'm just using white and brown and yellow. So I'm making kind of like a dark flesh color, white, brown, and yellow. And I'm going to come right in here. And I'm going to add his little face, just like a little oval. And let's do the same for Mary. Just a little oval. And you're going to start seeing it all come together when we add those black lines. Okay, so just be patient. Let's kind of fill in a little bit of this right there. All right, super, super fun. Super relaxing. Okay, now let's go on to the nativity. So I'm going to start from the back, and then I'm going to work my way to the top. So the first thing I'm going to do from the back, I'm going to make that X. So I'm going to kind of go, let's go about this high up. Let me wet my paintbrush a little bit too, because it's a little bit too dry. So I'm going to add that X first. Need some more paint. I'm trying to use the paint I have on my palette. So I'm just kind of randomly mixing colors together, because I don't want to have to put any more paint on my palette. Okay, so I'm just going to start with making an X. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this cream color and the gold. And I'm just going to add a little bit of highlights to it. I'm still just using one paintbrush for now. Okay, so my style is very impressionistic. I do not worry about detail. I just kind of wing it and just kind of make my shapes look like what they're supposed to be. So I have a very rough style, I guess you can say. Very loose. That's a better word for it. It's a very loose style. All right, so I'm going to come here and make his little hay just by making like some little commas, basically. Just making some little commas with a nice paintbrush there. And then notice that I'm cleaning off my paintbrush as I go. I need some more white. Where's my white? Where's my white? Oh, there it is. So let's put just a little bit more white on our palette. And let's make him a little oval for he's wrapped up in cloth. So I'm using white there. Now you see I might have to do a couple of layers of that white because it's so transparent. And then I'm going to make a little oval for his head. My paintbrush is a little bit too wet. Let's see if we can add a little bit more white there. I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to come back and add some more. Okay, let's do the star. I think I'm going to do, let me grab it. I didn't grab it earlier. I'm going to do a little bit of a brighter star than I had last time. So I'm going to use this cadmium yellow color. And I'm going to start by pulling down. I want my star to come like really, really low. So I'm just going to make a straight line. And then I'm going to make another straight line across here. I'm going to show you how to fix all of this. Then I'm going to make an X. And then I'm going to make another X. Or actually, I'm just making an X. I'm not making two X's. I'm just making a T and an X on top of each other. Okay, so if I want my star to be a little bit thicker the way it was here, then from the center, I'm going to grab just a little bit wider and then just pull out. So now I'm just making like some mini triangles off of the center. And you see how transparent my yellow is? I'm going to show you how to fix that in just a minute. See, by transparent, I mean you can see the blue through my yellow. And I don't really like that. I want it to be a little bit more opaque. But yellow is really hard to make opaque. So if I add, let me do this first and then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do. If I add just a teeny bit of white in my yellow, watch what's going to happen. Okay, so that's my first round of my yellow. Now let me grab some white and I'm going to mix a little bit of white in my yellow. Okay. It just adds a little more. I'm going to have to let it dry. It's still too wet. It adds a little bit more opaqueness to your yellow. And if you let it dry, it even makes it brighter. If you let it dry and then you do this layer, we really don't have time to let it dry. So we're just gonna wing it for now. But I think you get the idea. You just have to put a few coats over it to make it less transparent. And you have to let it dry in between the coats. All right, so what do y'all think so far? I think it's looking pretty cute. Mary wears blue because it symbolizes purity. I love it. Yes, awesome. Okay, let me catch up on comments. Thank you, Miss Kitty. You are very kind. Always have boards around. Yay. Looking very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now I am going to go back to a little bit of a smaller brush and I'm going to let this dry. And while I'm letting it dry, I'm going to start having fun with some decorations. I'm going to start decorating my tree. And I like to call this, we're putting the makeup on now. Let's put some of that makeup on. All right, so I'm taking a small brush. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go, I like the angle brush. I'm using an angle brush or a flat brush, either one. And I'm just going to pull down all along the side here, like that. And then, let me show you what I'm going to do to make this even more interesting. So wherever I went here with the tree, I'm going to come all the way up here. And I'm going to continue my tree on the side with some green paint. All right. Let's make that a little more pointed. Fill all of that in. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the other side. I do not want it to be symmetrical, so I'm going to make my other tree be a little taller. I'm going to go way up here with this tree. And, oops, I'm going the wrong way. Don't do what I just did. Let me go the other way. I have to go this way with it. Okay, so that was what not to do. Okay, you always want to know what not to do. So we have to show you what not to do sometimes. Okay? And that was a perfect example of what not to do. You like the way I cover myself up there, huh? That's what being a teacher for 25 years does for you. You learn how to get past all of that. All right. So now I'm going to start my tree again. I'm a little bit too white. Let me add some green in there. Very, very rough. Not anything special. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. It's much easier when we know what not to do. Yes, Miss Judy. I used to tell my students, okay, here is an example of a project. When I would give them projects, I was a high school math teacher for 25 years. Here is an example of what to do, and this is what will get you an A, but here is an example of what not to do, and this will get you, I will give you an opportunity to redo it if you make it look like this, so that is something well learned. Okay. I can't put it down now because I can because the back is still dry. But you may or may not want to add a little bit of greenery up here. I did on my original one, but I kind of hesitate because I feel like maybe I'm going a little bit too much with the crazy greenery. So that's completely up to you. All right, last part is a red. So I'm going to take the red, and you need a good red if you want your red to show. This is an example of a good red. It's a Naphthol Crimson Red. It's from Blick Acrylics. And I'm going to take the back side of my paintbrush, and I'm going to roll it around. I'm going to just kind of get the back side of the paintbrush full of paint, and I'm just going to tap. Tap, tap, tap. Probably better to tap in like little clusters, like a set of 3 berries. Probably look better that way if you did that. And I'm just tapping and making some little balls for ornaments. You do as much or as little as you want. And then I'm going to pick it up, see if I can work in a few little. You can do gold. If you have like a metallic gold, that would be really pretty too. Y'all see that? I have a little piece of hair on my board. There we go. All right. Put a few here. Now, if you don't like your green, I'm going to tell you what I did with mine, because once my green dried, it kind of got hidden behind the navy blue. So what I did was I used a lime green, like this color, like a really, really, or you can mix. I'm not going to put any more paint on my palette because I have a ton already. You can mix yellow with your green. If your green is not bright enough, and you can come back and maybe see how it's adding a beautiful highlight to your tree. You could do that. You might want to do that before you add the berries. It'd be easier to apply. Okay, so that is the main layer. And then the next thing that I did was I took the back end of my paintbrush and I added like some stars back here. But maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to do the little extra part that I did, and that was just for fun. I added, what do you call this stuff? I don't even know what it's called. I'm calling it snow glitter. We actually had a big bag of this working on a project in our Fab 4 group. And so what I did was, after the whole thing was dry, I added a really thick layer of Mod Podge on top of it. I'm not going to have time to show you how I added this glitter on it. But what I did was I added a really thick layer of Mod Podge, and then I just sprinkled right around right here, and I just kind of laid it down. Excuse me. And that's how I added that little sprinkly area up there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a paint pen to make those the little extra designs. You see like all the black lines? So I'm just going to, you can use any kind of paint pen you want, or you can even use a paintbrush to do this. You would just have to have a really small liner brush. And I'm just going to make some of these lines here, and you're going to see how it's going to really make a difference in the whole painting with these little black lines that we're going to add. You may have to let it dry a little bit before you do it. And I'm kind of working wet on wet, so I'm going to even add a few right here. I'm going to add it to the edge of the tree. The one I'm using right now, y'all are probably wondering, I don't buy a lot of paint pans. I usually just use my paintbrush to do this kind of stuff. But when I do buy it, I like either Posca, or this is a fun one. It's a Prismacolor. And just adding those little strokes in there really makes a difference. Gives it some fun. Almost makes it a little whimsical, you know? And so, yeah, I think I'm pretty close to being done. What do y'all think? I think I went way over my time, huh? Did I go way over my time? Oh, yeah, I went way over my time. Oh, not too bad. Elizabeth had like 30 minutes. Okay, so I am going to call this. I think it's super cute. If you order these little tags, it comes with a piece of jute like this, and you can stick the jute inside right here, and you can tie it up and put it on your tree. You can add glitter to it. You can do whatever you want, but it is a super cute painting. You can do so much with this, more than just an ornament. So I hope you enjoyed, and remember, you have the back too that you can paint on. So I hope you have a great night. Thank you all so much for being here. God bless. And don't forget to hit the follow button and follow me. I go live every Wednesday on my page, and I'll share lots more ideas with you there. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. Thanks so much.